Hey guys, it's up, Scotch Duck here once again. Right. I always do that. Collection update. Here we go. Right. I thought I was being good there, right? I thought, oh, I've not bought too much at the moment, you know, like, probably be a while before I do another collection update. This is a pretty big pile, so let's just get right into it. Okay. Now, first of all, I'll show these off again. For those of you who didn't see my last video, and mainly just so that these games get shown in a video called Collection Update, I have my 3 newly acquired out-of-region Dreamcast games. Caution Seaman. Amazing. Illbleed. It's alright. And D2. Yeah. Go see my last video if you want a sort of, me to talk about them in more detail and shit. But yeah, really nice to have them for sure. Put them up there next to all the other Dreamcast games, and they're in proper fucking cases as well. I'm still mad about that. Right, let's get into the rest of this, shall we? Now, I didn't think I was gonna like buy many more sort of like new games. At least it's not been like that for a while. Mainly because not that much has been coming out that's interested me. But also because I've just been very retro savvy as of late, as you all know, you know, and as you will see in the rest of this video. But I got a couple of new purchases today, in fact. This one, see, I saw this like it was gonna be. This is a 3DS game. It was released in America, and I was like, oh, they're not bringing it out over here. But then I was just browsing Amazon randomly, and I saw it, and I was like, oh, they did bring it out over here, and I grabbed it. That's the Sega 3D Classics Collection. Okay, now I actually already own some of these for the 3DS. You know, I have like almost all of them that you can buy on the digital store. Wonderful, wonderful conversions, you know, provided that they're all in the same like sort of format that those games that you can download have. But yeah, these are basically just like really good ports of some classic Sega arcade games. We got on here Altered Beast, yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously. Puyo Puyo 2, I think I've got that on the Saturn there. In fact, yeah, it's the exact same logo. That's this game's on here. So, all right, cool. Power Drift. Always wanted to play that. I see that game like all the time. Fantasy Zone 2, 2 different versions for some reason. I don't know. Thunderblade, sweet, and Galaxy Force 2. I've only ever played the Mega Drive version of that. Never seen what it's like in the arcades, but it looks really cool, so definitely keen to give that a try. So, yeah. Cheers, Sega, for bringing that out. Next up, I also bought these today. I kind of like, I was... Yeah, okay. Splatoon 2 for the Switch and Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I got these shout-outs to my friend Kim. She was like working in game at the time, and I went up to buy both of these games and think, these are going to be pricey as fuck, but she was like, oh, it's alright, Donald, I'll give you my staff discount. I was like, oh, cheers. So, saved a neat wee bit. It was a nice wee morality boosting sort of moment for sure, because in both of these cases I wasn't too fussed to get them. It really was sort of an impulse buy, but yeah, you can sort of get the idea. Splatoon 2, I had the first Splatoon. It was a good game for sure. It was a game that I respected more than I loved, because I'm not really the biggest sort of like online shooting fan. But I did like the idea that Nintendo was embracing sort of online play with the Wii U, and made it a new IP on top of that. And the game actually really took off. It really became a hit. I'm surprised. I mean, this game, at least in Japan for sure, was a massive seller, you know, absolutely. So, yeah, it's really nice to give it a go. I don't know if I'll get into it online or not. I mean, fucking ARMS for the Switch, I picked that up as well. I think I've played that game for like 15 minutes, okay? Not that I didn't like it or anything, I've just not really sat down and give it a try. I've been too busy retro gaming. So, but yeah, Splatoon 2, I will play for it for sure. Now, speaking of retro gaming, we got Crash Bandicoot. Now, a lot of you probably know this about me, but I have like zero love for Crash Bandicoot. Not in a sense that I don't like him, I'm just like completely neutral. I have no nostalgia, I have no like, the closest I have is actually, because the only one I think I've actually beaten is the third game, Crash Bandicoot Warped for the PS1, and I actually did like that one quite a bit when I played it, but it was like a few years ago I played it, and yeah, it was enjoyable. So quite nice to quite keen to play that one again, but yeah. Everybody was going nuts over this one, for sure. I think every PlayStation 4 owner has it at this point, and, well deserved. I mean, free classic PlayStation 1 games all done up really nicely for the PlayStation 4. I'm for it, I really am for it. Again, I just don't have that much love for the series and stuff, so who knows, maybe this will finally ignite that fire, but whatever. What can I say about this one? Everybody's fucking got it. It's Crash Bandicoot. Everybody was actually asking me about it, like the week it came out. There you go, it's there. Okay, so lastly here I have a pile, quite a big pile of Mega Drive games that I just sort of like had a little spree on eBay and got. And one of the reasons for this is because I don't know why this has got in my mind, but I'm determined to do this now, for whatever reason. I want to own 100 Mega Drive games, okay? At this point in time, I own 70, okay? So I have a wee bit to go. And right here I have 8, so yeah, I'm gonna go for that. I don't know why I want to go for that, but we're going to. So let's go for it, shall we? And one thing I've decided to just stop fussing over so much is getting like Mega Drive games complete in the box with the manual and whatnot. Because I don't know, like I've never been actively buying Mega Drive games. I'll kind of just pick one up randomly every now and then. But like for the first time ever, I've really noticed on eBay how the sort of like Mega Drive market works, you know? Like you can pay like twice the price for a game that has the manual included compared to just getting it without the manual. So, and to be honest, I went through a bunch of my games not long ago and noticed that there was I actually had a lot that didn't have the manuals with them. I guess back like a good few years ago I just didn't care, so I'm like, fuck it, just buy them if they're there, don't spend too much money. So the first one here, and this is the only game out of the box, funnily enough, this is Flicky for the Mega Drive. Now I've played this game on the Sonic Mega Drive collection for PS3. This was one of the unlockable games that you could play. And it's a fairly mediocre sort of collect-a-thon arcade game. You play as Flicky, a little blue bird, and go about collecting little yellow chicks and take them all to an exit and stuff. And apparently this is the very same character, the Flicky, that would show up in Sonic the Hedgehog later on. So technically it's a Sonic game, technically. But yeah, I gotta love that artwork right there anyway. But yeah, Flicky for the Mega Drive, it's That's very much all I can say about that. Right, now this was one I definitely wanted to get. I've really fallen in love with the Shining Force games recently. I'm currently playing through Shining Force 3 on the Sega Saturn, Wonderful, wonderful series, really good strategy RPGs. I'm probably going to do a whole video on them at some point. But there are other sort of games in the series, not necessarily strategy RPGs, but there's a sub-series of dungeon crawlers. One on the Saturn is called Shining in the Holy Ark. I have that one. And one on the Mega Drive was Shining in the Darkness. And this was technically the first Shining game. So, yeah. This is one of the ones that sadly I did not get the manual for, so whatevs. But yeah, I really want to give this one a go. Don't know how much I'll like it because, again, it's the strategy RPG formula that I've recently fallen in love with. Don't know how the dungeon crawler formula is going to hold up, but we'll see, we'll see. Shining in the Darkness. Next up, okay, so these ones are together actually. So recently I was going through my games and I was thinking actually of games from my childhood, because I really didn't play much on the Mega Drive when I was younger. It was mainly Sonic and a handful of other sort of throwaway games that I put a lot of time into. I think I have vague memories of playing Streets of Rage, Echo the Dolphin, some of the other bigger names on there, but for the most part it was really Sonic and Disney games that took up a majority of my time with that console. It wasn't until much later that I started collecting them and playing a lot of the other brilliant games on there. But here are some of the games that I did definitely play a lot. This right here is a Quackshot, starring Donald Duck. I thought there was a subtitle there. I think this is a pretty popular one. I think a lot of people have played this. I actually used to have the Quackshot / Castle of Illusion dual pack. In fact, I had it on the shelf until very recently, but I kind of felt like playing it, you know, a bit of a nostalgia blast. And I found out that the cartridge wasn't there. I've lost the cartridge for some reason. I was just like, this won't do. I don't even think I even like this game that much. I think like Castle of Illusion is way better, and a bunch of other Disney games. But yeah, I kind of need this one because of the nostalgia for sure. So, and it's cool to have it in its own individual case now. This one comes with a manual, so that's also a bonus. So yeah, Quackshot, I suppose it's good to have you back. And another one, again, another Disney game that I played the shit out of. I think Castle of Illusion I liked maybe a little bit better, but this one was a big favourite also. It's Mickey Mania, or Mickey's Wild Adventure for the PS1, if you played it on that console. This one was complete, but yeah, love this game to death. It came out on a lot of different consoles. This is the only one I need, you know. I know that this one's like better than the Super Nintendo version, you know, has more levels and stuff, and yeah, so Sega fanboy bias right there, but whatever. Also, I gotta say, right, I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before, but this game was developed by Traveller's Tales, you know. Now, we all know Traveller's Tales these days for the Lego games, that's all they do now. But I actually saw the Traveller's Tales logo so much growing up, mostly out of coincidence, and you know, I'm very, like, attached to that old logo with the sort of, like, I don't know, the mouse thing with the Traveller's bag. Because, like, so many games that I really like, even though a majority of them were either mediocre Disney games or really bad Sonic games, you know, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic R, Toy Story for the Mega Drive, I love that game, and this, of course, so yeah, I just saw that logo so much, and I'm very, and it's a big part of my memories with the Mega Drive and all that, so I don't know, I just wanted to bring that up for some reason. So bring that logo back, Traveller's Tales, and make something that's not just Lego. You're not going to do that, but whatever. Mickey Mania. And lastly in my sort of childhood arc, if you will, this is Pac Panic. This was one, see, again, these all seem like really random games. I really did just play whatever was, like, given to me back in the day, whether it was on the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo. That's why I never picked my games ever. And this was one that I just got thrown my way. This is basically a puzzle game like Tetris, but it's got, like, Pac-Man thrown in. And, yeah, it's a pretty good game, honestly. I have a lot of fun memories with it, so, yeah. Not much to say about it beyond that, so Pac Panic, yeah. Okay, next, this is one that I don't even know that much about. I just know it's kind of a beloved Mega Drive game. That's Game Ground. I think this is a sort of like one-screen strategy game, almost. I think I played a little bit of it on that Mega Drive collection for the PS3. But I would say to that, I really don't know much. This one has the manual in it as well, so that's good. So, yeah, I'll pop it in, give it a try rather. Game Ground. Next up we have, this is a nice one actually. Castlevania The New Generation, otherwise known as Castlevania Bloodlines in America, but us Europeans were too pussy for blood, so they cut it all out. But that really was like all they did. They just took out a bunch of the gore, like everything else is apparently intact, which is quite cool. I'm not like the biggest Castlevania nutter, you know, I really like the sort of Metroidvania ones, you know, all the ones that came out like post Symphony of the Night, and the ones on the DS, those are excellent. Super Castlevania 4, that's a good one. The NES trilogy, I could do without, honestly. And I don't know much about this one other than the fact that, yeah, it's the Castlevania game that Konami made for the Mega Drive, so yeah, I figured might as well have it. And I do, but no manual, sadly. You should see how much this was in comparison to the ones that did have manuals. I was just looking at it and was like, fuck off. I'll just take it like this. Okay, and the last game we have, and the only, I think I only had 3 games without the manual, and this was one of them. This right here is, I always have to look at the fucking, like, title, because the titles for this series is so confusing. Monsterland, Wonder Boy 3, Monster Lair, sorry, Wonder Boy 3, it's, yeah. I'm trying to get into the Wonder Boy games at the moment. As far as I know, there are 6, and this is kind of one of the weirder ones almost. It's not like a sort of cross between an RPG. It's actually got more in common with like a shooting game or something. I actually have played this one. I played for it a few years ago on an emulator, you know, just to try it out really. I ended up playing through the whole thing. And yeah, really weird game. Doesn't have too much to do with like the rest of the series as far as I remember. But I kind of needed it to complete my current Wonder Boy collection. This means I've got all of them, with the exception of the 4th one, starring that the green-haired lassie. That was only in Japan. It would be cool to have that cartridge at some point, but I've got it downloaded on like the PS3 so I can play it there, should I want to. But yeah, that's all the Wonder Boy games now. So good day, good day. And that makes 78 Mega Drive games. Let's see. Wonder what my 100th one will be. Who knows? So that's that, guys. See you after. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.